Hello, quilt artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts. So this is going to be a quick one. It is Thursday, and I'm here with Thankful Thursday. I am just happy for. I'm actually just happy that it's January. I'm happy for a clean slate, and I'm really happy and thankful for this upcoming sew along because it's giving me. It's just kind of feeding me right now. It's feeding my spirit. It's making me feel really, really good. So I think I told you guys one of my favorite pattern designers dropped a new plaid quilt pattern. This is Brittany Lloyd over at Lo and Behold Stitchery. And the pattern, again, is called Upscale Plaid. And I saw this cover quilt and it was so Christmassy. And I was like, I don't want to do a Christmas quilt. I don't want to do that. I want to do something that matches my house. And so I found an awesome colorway that was going to look good and, coordinate with my home. And so I kind of went with that colorway. And I got everything cut out for that colorway, and I'm kind of over the moon about it. One of the things I like to do is I like to look at all the scraps from the thin scraps from the cutting, and when I look at the colors, then I kind of know how my quilt is going to look. And so I'm super, super excited about this, but I'm even more excited about the Christmas one. I did some color changes in mine that differed from the original pattern designer. And just FYI, the reason why I tend to copy other people's color palettes is because fabric is expensive. And if I put something together and I don't like how it looks or I don't like how it coordinates, then I'm kind of out of luck and out of money. So I do kind of like to go with something tried and true. That's why I like pre-cuts and I like to use a specific line because I know everything's going to go together, or I like to copy other people's color palettes. It's just what I do. I don't have a problem with it. But I was even more happy when I saw the other color palette. The original pattern designer, her colors were a little bit deeper and darker than mine. This color here was much darker. The green was much darker and deeper. This kind of weird color here, this kind of chartreuse-ish color was a little bit different. And so, I made some different choices because I already had some of these colors. But now that I look at it all together, this is going to be an awesome quilt. I am so excited about this. The quilt along begins January 27th. And so that's kind of slowing me down from starting anything else. I've got both projects cut out. This is project number 1. I've got all the block pieces plus the background and the binding. For this colorway, I've got the block pieces and the background. I have not cut the binding because I don't have enough of the background to use it as a binding, and so I have to decide what I want to do. But this pattern is going to take a lot of organization. So if I realistically want to put both of these quilts together at the same time, I am going to have to clean my space. I have been putting off cleaning and organizing my space now for at least 6 months. And so I'm pretty crowded right now, and that's not going to work for this project. So that's another reason why I'm thankful for it, because honestly, either I'm going to have to choose to only do one project at a time and just choose which colorway I'm going to do and do that, or I'm going to have to clean my space if I want to do both projects. So I'm kind of happy that this project came along because it is going to force me to make that hard decision to either choose one project or clean my space so that I have the room to spread out and organize both projects at the same time, because there is going to be some incredible organization required to keep everything separate and straight. So I'm actually really glad about that. Sometimes I need a kick in the pants. I'm not naturally clean and organized. And so sometimes I need a kick in the pants, a motivator. And so I'm hoping that this is a motivating factor for me to get off my tuchus and do something with my area. And you guys will know because you're going to be able to tell behind me if I've done something or if I haven't. So time will tell. I did do my giveaway. It was great. I chose 5 winners. 4 of you have contacted me. Please, I'm waiting for the last person to contact me. I would give the name, but I forgot what it is. Is it Ariana or something like that? I don't know. I did a video about it and I did a post. So I think the name is like Ariana or something like that. So if your name is something like Ariana, please check out my other video or my post, my community post that I did where I announced the winners. And please email me so that I can give this item away. I would really like to get everything together and printed and in the mailbox to mail out on Monday. So I want to get everything kind of done and printed on Saturday, get it all in my mailbox on Sunday, and then it gets picked up on Monday is the plan. So it would be super, super awesome if the last person there would go ahead and contact me so that I can get their prize out. Anything else? So I haven't really been working on much. You know, you guys know I've been working on, I've been doing more crochet lately. I did do a little bit of work on my blanket. I did not get super, super far, but I did finish the last bit of blue and I am on to the gray. So I need to finish this skein of gray, which is probably realistically only 4 more rows before I'm done with the gray. And then I have 2 skeins of the teal to do. So I do want to spend a little bit more time with that, but I've been a bit distracted because that blanket gets kind of heavy. And so when I'm working on that, I kind of have to be on the couch or in the bed. When I'm down here in my craft room, it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of heavy. And it's warm. And it's kind of warm down here in my craft room because I keep the heat going. So I really like to work on that blanket like when I'm in bed. And I can kind of lay it over me and work on it. Or like when I'm sitting on the couch watching football and I can kind of put it over me for some extra warmth. And I haven't really been doing that lately. So I haven't really been working on that. Now, when I sit down here in my sewing room, it's just too heavy to work on. It's just too much stretching. It's too much. But I don't know why, but I did start another project. This is going to be a more long-term project. I'm guessing it's probably going to take me 40 to 60 years to complete this because the last thing that I did was a scarf, and that scarf used 1 skein of yarn, and that 1 skein of yarn was 312 yards, and it took me 7 years to complete that project and that scarf. It was a 1 skein project, and it took me 7 years to crochet 312 yards. So this cardigan that I have started requires 6 and some change skeins, each 392 yards. So just, I figure I'll be like 107 when I get this cardigan done. But it's coming out pretty nice, you know, thus far. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, this is more of a long-term project, and we'll see how I do. We'll see how I do. My other crochet projects, they're all kind of bulky yarn projects. So the one that I showed you with the blues and the grays, that's a bulky yarn project. So when I get that blanket done, I do have another bulky yarn project planned. So I'll probably just do the bulky projects and as more like a short-term thing. And then I'll work on the cardigan as more of a short-term thing. I mean, sorry, a long-term thing. So the bulky projects will be short-term. The cardigan will be long-term. I have never made a garment before, so this will be my first one. I don't know why I chose to use DK weight. I could have done a bulky yarn project that would have worked up a lot quicker, but for some reason I chose to do this, so here we are. I should have just doubled the yarn. I should have just doubled the yarn and used a bulky project. I should have just took those 3 DK weights and just doubled the yarn and went with a bulky project. But I decided to do this. So let's see how it goes. Sticking to crochet has never been my forte. My quilt tops tend to get finished. My quilt tops get finished. There have been a few projects that I abandoned in the quilt top stage, but not many. Most of my quilt tops get made unless I fall out of love with the fabric, which there was one that I did that was all solids and they were all gray and black and taupe and just neutral, no color. I lost interest in that project and I did not complete it. Another project was like, it was a scrap project. So literally it was, I made the quilt. It was like when you made the quilt, you ended up with enough blocks where you could make 2 different quilts. And then you ended up with like orphan blocks that you could put together into a 3rd quilt. So I made the first quilt, the initial one, quilted it, finished it completely, gifted it. I made the second quilt top. The quilt top is done. And then the third is like just a bonus project that I didn't put together. So I don't really count that. There was another like scrap project where I think I've made all the blocks, but I just didn't put the blocks together. I think I have a couple like that. And then I have a Bonnie Hunter. So there's, I mean, out of all the quilt tops I started, there might be like 5 or 6 that I haven't finished. The top. I'm usually good about finishing the top. Now getting it basted and quilted is a whole other story. But I'm usually good about finishing the quilt top for my quilts. But my crochet projects, those sit and linger. So I'm going to try to do better. And I think one of the reasons why I have a lot of these crochet projects, there's also 3 block of the months that I started and didn't finish. So I don't plan to do any more block of the months. It's just not for me. Because what happens for me, actually 4, because I did socialites as well and I didn't finish that. Because what happens with me is that I tend to work in chunks. And so that's why that block of the month doesn't work. Just coming once a month. I did get my cotton cuts done, but it was pre-cut. So all I had to do was sit and sew. And so that got done. That was the only block of the month that I've ever finished was cotton cuts. And that's because it was pre-cut and I could just sew. The rest of them, no, I have not. I have got a few. And one of my block of the month, literally, I was doing the block of the month and I would get the block done for the month. And then I'd have nothing else to sew. And so then I'd start another project. And then when the next block would come, I'm busy with that project. Then I get backed up. So it just doesn't work for me. Maybe I'll take 1 year and work on all my block of the months. It's not going to be 2024. I have no intention of touching any of them. But maybe 1 year, maybe 1 year I'll have my block of the month whip year where I try to work on my block of the month. I have maybe 6 of them. So maybe I'll work on each one for 2 months. I don't know. Just something to think about in the future. Not anything I'm planning to do right now. I'm having a stress-free sew life. I am enjoying my crafting, and it is not a source of stress for me at all, and that is the most important thing. I have put so much stress and pressure on myself in my sewing, and that's not what this is about. This is a way for me to decompress, to relax, to forget about the stresses of life, and to just have a place where I have like peace and joy, and that's what this is for me, and that's how I need to keep it. And so the way that I do that is that I don't put any pressure on myself to do anything except enjoy what I'm sewing today. I want to enjoy whatever I'm sewing today, whatever I'm crocheting today. I want to enjoy that. And so if it's something that I'm not going to enjoy doing, I don't want to do it. So that is it for me, you guys, and I will see you next video.